adventure, connected by hundreds of cultures and beliefs, fueled by the curiosity of young minds, and shaped by leaders brave enough to explore new ways of thinking and living. People who creatively solve problems and continuously reinvent themselves. We gather from around the world to live and study together. Our community forges friendships that last a lifetime and make the entire world feel like home. This is a place where motivation meets opportunity. Opportunity to live and study among different cultures of Europe, America, Asia, and beyond. Where curious minds learn how to solve problems creatively. Where we learn how to become a professional for a lifetime. A professional who is able to shift and adapt to the ever-changing reality of tomorrow. We are LCC, a North American university in the heart of Europe, full of opportunities and adventure, a place to start. Take a brave step into the world. Join LCC International University.
Greetings from LCC International University in Lithuania. My name is Georg and I'll be one of your hosts today.
And my name is Victoria, and I will be one of your hosts too. Me and Georg are both LCC students, and we're so excited to tell you more about LCC today and why it is such a unique place. You will learn more important information about LCC too.
To choose a university where you will spend 4 years living and studying is a really big decision. And it's also a big financial investment in your life. So before you make that big decision, ask a lot of questions, explore different opportunities, especially joining us today. We'll try to answer to a lot of questions and share a lot more information about LCC International University and what we offer.
And for this reason, we want to spend the next hour and a half by telling you more about LCC and why you should consider it as your future destination. I think we will have a truly informative time here today. And just so you know, we have slido.com open throughout the whole live stream where you can put your questions in if you have any. There's a code that we will post down below. If you enter the code there, slido.com, you can enter your questions throughout the whole live stream. So feel free to ask any questions you have regarding LCC.
So before you ask your questions, we have prepared already a question for you. So in the comments section, please share which country are you joining us today from. And as an icebreaker, me and Victoria will introduce ourselves first.
Yes, that would be rude not to introduce ourselves. So as you might have known already, my name is Victoria and I am a 4th year student here at LCC, so I'm a senior and I'm studying contemporary communication. What about you, Georg?
Well, I am Georg and I'm from Armenia. I'm majoring in business and administration and it's my 4th year here in Lithuania too, at LCC International University. I think business is a great opportunity. Majoring in business and administration is a great opportunity if you're trying to pursue a career in marketing or to work in corporate lifestyle and even start your business. So I'm really happy to be here.
Great. And just as a reminder, at the end of our live stream, well, not the very end, of course, we will have a panel where we'll try to answer any questions that you might have. And do we have a question right now, Georg?
I don't think so, but we have a really important question. Not a question, but a topic. So we should introduce Lithuania to you. And what is Lithuania? So we have prepared a short video for you.
According to statistics, the European Union not only has the tallest people, but also the highest level of education and quality of studies. However, these 27 countries are distinguishable from one another not only by their food. Let's take Lithuania as an example. Through their almost 3 million inhabitants, they have 5 million active SIM cards. In addition, they use one of the fastest internets in the world. And though Lithuania is more than 1,000 years old, its inhabitants are very modern. You can find nearly 2 million Lithuanians on Facebook. It's one of the smallest countries in the European Union. Yet, it is the fourth country in the world in terms of people who have a higher education. Every third Lithuanian has a higher education degree. Education has a long tradition in Lithuania. One of the first universities in Central and Eastern Europe was founded in Vilnius in 1579. One of its graduates, Kazimieras Simonavičius, later created the multi-stage rocket. Over the last few centuries, more than 35 higher education institutions, universities, and colleges have been founded, which have more than 187,000 students, with over 6,000 of them being foreigners. This number is growing every year. Students come to study at Lithuanian universities from 143 countries. The desire for knowledge attracts students from different continents and countries. Among the students that come, 55% of them wear glasses, 9% get homesick, while a large majority of them rank the quality of studies as very good. They can choose from a variety of BA, MA, or PhD programs offered in Lithuania that they can sink their teeth into in English or in Russian. Though there is a high demand for medicine, business, international relations, design, and media studies, the most popular are the high-tech programs because of their strong training, especially engineering, laser technology, IT, biotechnology, and nanotechnology. Let's take Tato from Georgia. After secondary school, he got into a university in Lithuania and began studying civil engineering. The academic year in Lithuania starts in September and lasts 9 months. During his studies, Tato will study 8 semesters and have 8 vacations. He will drink 1,108 cups of coffee, dress as a monk once, dress as a devil twice, find 124 new friends, spend 1 semester in Rome as an Erasmus student, fall in love once, become disillusioned with love once, and learn all the rules of the resistance of materials. And 4 years later, he will receive a diploma that is recognized everywhere in the European Union. And because of reforms in higher education, Tato will be able to continue his studies in one of the MA studies on offer. The same kind of studies in London, Milan, or Zurich will cost 4 times more on average. Tato won't get bogged down in loans and will travel to Greenland often to see the whales. Plus, the cost of living is one of the lowest in the European Union. Not only does Lithuania have 5 national parks, but also 5 centers known as valleys that integrate scientific research, studies, and business. It is here that students can get invaluable practical experience directly from experts in such fields as engineering, biomedicine, energy, IT, and lasers who work at the most innovative companies developing the technology of the future. Which is why the next time you are thinking of where to study in Europe, study in Lithuania.
Wow, that was a lot of facts and a lot of numbers in this video. Thank you our colleagues in Study in LTE for preparing this video to show the glimpse of Lithuania and what it packs. Sure, it's true, Lithuania is a really small country, but it packs a lot. Especially this year, Klaipėda, where LCC International University is based, was the European Youth Capital. And we had a lot of festivals, events, entertaining projects, educational projects happening here, and all local and international people residing in Klaipėda could be a part of it, and not only from Lithuania.
Well, I am Lithuanian myself, but studying here, I feel like the whole world came here to meet me, because most of my classmates and my friends are from all over the world. So each day I can learn more about different countries and cultures around the world. It's truly exciting.
On that note, we have people joining us in this live stream from Romania, Russia, Lithuania, Georgia, Armenia, and many more countries. So we'll keep an eye on, and it's great. Please, if you have any questions or any information you want to share with us, please share in the comments or in the Slido, and we'll try to answer them on the go. Since we have introduced ourselves and we also gave you a short introduction to Lithuania, now let's hear from the president of LCC International University, Marlene Wall, and what she has to tell about LCC and herself.
Greetings to all of you. I am Marlene Wall. I'm the president here at LCC International University, and I am so excited to welcome you to this opportunity to share a little bit about who we are at LCC. So, first of all, let me just tell you why I'm here. I'm actually one of those crazy people that doesn't know how to answer the question, where are you from? When people ask me, where are you from? I answer like this. I was born in Montevideo, Uruguay. I am a Canadian citizen, so my passport is from Canada. All of my high school years and my high school graduation were in Asunción, Paraguay. All of my university life, bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctoral degree, were from the United States. And that's where I began my professional career. And now I'm in Lithuania for my 19th year. So, where am I from? All of that matters to me when I speak to you about LCC, because LCC is home. And LCC is home because of that absolutely wonderful, diverse student body that comes from everywhere. And so as I'm talking to you now, I don't even know what countries you're all in, but I'm so excited to learn that. And so I'm eager to meet you, and I do hope that that happens in the fall. So let me tell you a little bit about LCC. We sometimes talk about certain key words that help describe who we are as a university. The first one that I would like to refer to is the word Christian. LCC is a Christian university. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we have a Christian foundation, a Christian set of principles that guide how we act, that guide how we live together, that guide how we are kind to each other and live together in community. And it helps us to know where we value that ethical lifestyle, that lifestyle of integrity. How do we value, and where do those values even come from? Now, it's also important to say that at LCC, we welcome everyone. We welcome everyone from any faith perspective and from no faith perspective. Everyone is welcome at LCC, but you're coming to a Christian university for very clear reasons. So that's number one. Number two, we are a liberal arts university. We're a liberal arts university. What does that mean? It doesn't refer to art, and it doesn't refer to liberal versus conservative. It actually means that it's a style of education that helps us to look at the broad base of a multidisciplinary education. So every student, for example, will take a class in conflict transformation. Every student will take a class in literature. Every student will take classes in ethics, in worldview. It doesn't matter whether you're studying as a business student or a psychology student or a international relations student. All students at LCC have that core. But more than the common classes that we also take together is what we focus on for our graduates. So I often say that a graduate from LCC leaves as a T-shaped graduate. What does that mean? Well, the T is made up of a deep understanding of your area, your discipline, what you are studying, whether business, psychology, communication, etc. But it also includes the important extras, soft skills we sometimes refer to them as, of interpersonal communication, international and intercultural communication, public speaking, the ability to share your ideas and be a critical thinker. All of those pieces are as important as the depth of your discipline. So we want you as a graduate to be a T-shaped graduate. That's liberal arts education. LCC, number 3, is an international university. We have that in our name, LCC International University. We are so excited about that international community because we believe that we learn to be citizens of the world in ways that other universities may not be able to teach. So when you are in a class, or when you are in a residence hall room, or you are playing on the basketball court with people from other countries, you're learning. You're learning in all of those moments. When you're cooking together, you're learning. And so when we have students from over 50 countries, it matters how we live together and how we deal with issues of conflict and peace, of justice, and all of those make all of us better citizens of the world. So we value that international perspective. Number 4, while we are international, we are very much decidedly North American style. Now, what does that refer to? That is definitely the way that we structure the classes, the way that we structure the syllabus, the way that we structure the interaction in the classroom between professors and students, the way that we develop the educational model that you actually then leave with. It feels like a North American style of education. And that leads directly into number 5, which is relational. We are a relational university. At LCC, I am not Dr. Wall. My name is Marlene. And I value that level of relationship that I can build with students. At LCC, I expect that very likely in your first year, you will come to my house for dinner because we believe in that relational model of education where we are all learning together. And so for us, it is the importance of your voice. Your voice matters in the classroom, in the hallways, in the residence halls, in my office, in my house. We care about the individual and the relational atmosphere that we can create. And the sixth item that we usually use to describe LCC is philanthropic. That's a big word, and it really refers to a mentality of giving. And so at LCC, I will often say that we want students who are the right students for LCC. And if that means that you are in need of certain kinds of additional funding, whether that's need-based or merit-based, we can help you find that. Now, it doesn't mean that we can give every student everything that they want, but we care about you and the ability to pay for your education. But what we also want is for you as a student here to volunteer, to be a person who gives to the community, to give to the university. And when you graduate, we would love to think that you would be an alumnus who would give back to your university because you are proud of the education that you have received and you want to help the next generation of students to also be successful at LCC. So, I welcome you. I hope that we can meet each other in September or August, and I look forward to having you in my house for dinner next year.
So, Dr. Wall shared in short time about LCC and how the community works, and this is true. And a week ago we were visiting Dr. Wall in her apartment with leadership position team members. So it's a really relational community and it's really nice to be here. So LCC is truly international once again, and 80% of our students are coming from 57 different countries. LCC is a small university and we know everyone here. Each of us knows everyone in the community. We study with them, we visit different places, we participate in projects and study.
And at LCC, there is a great emphasis on student life. There's an entire department working to ensure the students are not only growing academically, but also in many other areas. We have many opportunities such as volunteering opportunities, leadership positions, and we also have clubs that are led by students. There are many more things happening here in our student life, such as events that are brought here by our leadership position students. So I would be boring you if I were to tell you everything about student life. So I guess you'll just have to come here and experience this great opportunity and this great community yourself.
But not only about the events or programs organized in the university. Just by living in this community on daily conversations, you have different people, or sometimes we are cooking together in the dormitory, or studying, or with your friends or roommates deciding whose turn is it to clean the room. So it's all about learning and shaping your personal identity in this community. Now, I would like to introduce you to our Student Life Vice President, Margarita Pavlovic. Let's listen more about student life and all the opportunities we have at LCC.
Welcome to LCC International University. My name is Margarita Pavlovic and I'm Vice President of Student Life here at LCC. And today I want to share with you 5 things what it means to be a part of LCC community. When you come to LCC, you'll be part of international community. Students come to LCC from more than 50 countries and they have an opportunity not only to share the traditions and learn more about the histories of other countries, but also to develop intercultural communication and build up on their cultural competence, a skill that is highly valued right now among employers around the world. When you come to LCC, you become a part of the relational community. We, staff and instructors, seek to get to know our students on a personal basis and develop friendships with them. We also seek to create opportunities for students to do the same. You probably would agree that university years are the best years of a lifetime, and that is because of the relationships that you develop with your friends. In our housing, we have about 70% of our students, but our housing is not just accommodation and the beds where you sleep. We create communities on each floor, and on every floor there is a little family that play, learn, study together and develop various skills that are so valuable after graduation. When you come to LCC, you're also part of the learning community. At LCC, we believe that learning happens not only in the classroom, but outside of the classroom as well. You only spend about 30% of your time in auditorium learning the academic things. However, outside of the classroom, you spend about 70% of time interacting with your peers. And we, Student Life, seek to structure those interactions so that you could continue developing your skills and building up on your competencies. For example, we have Student Success Center. In the Student Success Center, we have career counselor who will help you to discover your talents, learn what your skills are strongest, will help you locate best practical experience as well as employment experience in the summer. Our success tutors also help with academic support. They help you with your writing, they help you with your math, they also organize various workshops where you can learn on how to manage your time better. They also organize study groups before exams. Study times can be pretty stressful. That's why we have counselors who also help you get through those stressful times, as well as help you develop the skills to deal better with stress, deal with anxiety, and in general, take care of your mental health. When you come to LCC, you also become part of the sustainable community. We encourage students to be active citizens in the world. LCC does not exist in the bubble. That's why we encourage students to take part in various projects on and off campus through volunteering and other leadership initiatives to provide positive influence in communities around them. When you come to LCC, you're also part of the Christ-centered community. We adopt an invitational approach to faith dialogue, and doesn't matter which faith background you come from, we'd like to learn more about why you believe what you believe, what forms your worldview, but also we seek to worship God and to better understand what it means to be the disciples of Christ in the global world and how faith affects our behavior. I hope you enjoyed my introduction, and it has given you a glimpse of LCC. We hope to see you on campus in August and welcoming you in the LCC community.
LCC student life is truly vibrant, and a good example of it is Victoria and I. So I'll short introduce about myself and what I'm involved in, and then Victoria will tell about her experience. Not only studying, but I'm also part of the student council and involved in the leadership development program at LCC. On weekly basis, we have mentorship trainings, professional and personal development trainings, student council activities involved in different projects, educational and also entertaining.
And this year I am also part of leadership development program, and my position is freshman orientation student leader. So this year I got the chance to have a class of freshmen, so first year students, and introduce them to studies here for the first semester ever. It's been truly amazing to grow together with those students and develop my leadership skills and let the students know that this place is truly inspirational when you think about all the opportunities you have here.
So, being a liberal arts university, you don't only major or study in a specific field, but you also learn about different things that surround you in your life and community. LCC is a liberal arts university and it offers 6 bachelor degrees: International Business Administration, International Relations and Development, Contemporary Communication, English Language and Literature, Psychology, and Theology. All these programs are taught on campus.
And LCC also offers 2 programs that are master programs. Those are MA in International Management and MA in TESOL. These MA programs are mostly designed for working individuals and are taught online with a couple of on-campus meetings during an academic year. And now I would like you to watch a video with us together about what our professors and students have to say about BA studies here at LCC.
Hello, I'm Dr. Douglas Puffert. I'm chair of the Department of International Business Administration at LCC. In the business department, we teach everything that's related to effectively leading a business or other organization. Everything from surveying the market and what potential customers and clients might desire, and down to the practical details of accounting and finance. With a business degree from LCC, you'll be equipped to start your own business or to be an effective and ethical leader in a larger organization, whether it be a business organization or, for that matter, a nonprofit or governmental organization. There are many things that you can do with a business degree.
Hello, my name is Maria and I'm a senior business student. This year, I'm writing my thesis in the field of marketing and planning to do my practicum in business research. Any business major student can have a career in virtually any field, starting with medicine, continuing to arts, as an HR manager, finance analyst, or a CEO of a company. After my graduation, I would like to pursue a career in marketing and start as a junior marketing manager in an IT startup.
Hello. I am Dr. Scott Newman. I am the chair of the Department of International Relations and Development. In IRD, we start out with a grounding in political science and then focus that into study of international relations, which is the relationship between countries, and also development, which is a study of the process of how countries develop their economies, their social structures, how they come together. Now, we want to prepare you for either government service or work with non-governmental organizations. You can sort of get an idea of where you can go with this by looking at our practicums. We've had students do internships in their country's foreign ministries, in embassies, in the European Union organization, and in non-governmental organizations, with any range of activities from local government through advocacy for women's rights. If these things interest you, if you're interested in how to make countries live with each other better, how to help countries develop themselves, then this is a major you should consider.
Hey there, my name is Edward and I'm a senior studying international relations and development. This summer, I did a really interesting internship in Brussels at the European Christian Political Movement, which is a European political party. And I helped them to research how European parties communicate and also did some writing on human dignity. I really like this major because it helps me understand how government and society interact and how people's voices can be heard. And in the future, I'm looking forward to working both in private and public sectors.
My name is Robin Gingrich, and I'm the chair of the English department here at LCC. If you love words, stories, languages, and people, this major is definitely for you. With an English degree, there are so many opportunities, both in Lithuania and around the world. You can become a teacher, an author, a translator, or an interpreter. You can work in advertising or communication, almost anything that involves words and people. Our alumni are very successful. Some have jobs in schools as teachers, some are translators or interpreters, some work in NGOs, and others work in human resources. Other alumni are enrolled in PhD programs in studies like literature or cultural studies.
Hi, my name is Edya, and I'm an English major at LCC. This semester, I'm doing my practicum with the Student Success Center. As English majors, we have a wide selection of careers we can pursue after graduating. Some students continue their higher education, some students become copy editors, writers, or even teachers. When I graduate LCC, I'd like to pursue my education in educational management.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Jones. I'm a professor of communication here at LCC International University. And I want to tell you that there are so many things you can do with a degree in contemporary communication. Our current alumni do everything from social media marketing, directors of marketing, customer service, to working with preschool children. Anything you want to do, a communication degree will prepare you for. And if you want some more specific guidelines, stop by my office in De Fair 122, where I have a poster that lists a lot of the opportunities that you can take advantage of as a contemporary communication major. In fact, there's even a couple of red marks to show things that I have done. I look forward to seeing you around campus.
My name is Eimantė. I am from Lithuania and I major in contemporary communications here at LCC International University. I chose this major specifically because I always knew that I wanted to work with people, work in teams, and just constantly keep moving and not falling into routine. So I think this major fits perfectly for me. And for the past 2 years here, I had a chance to experience working with administrative job, events, planning and organizing, working in theaters with management. So I had a very broad experience here. So after graduation, I really hope to work in human resources or still with events planning or organizing.
Hi, I'm Michael Cox. I teach theology here at LCC. A theology degree doesn't just give you skills for doing ministry. It shapes you into the kind of person who lives faithfully. Now, a theology degree can help you get a job in a church or Christian organization, or you can go to grad school to study theology. And many of our students have done this kind of thing. But I want to encourage you to consider a concentration in theology. Now, what this means is that you would take a major in another major like communication or business, and then you would use your electives to take courses in theology. You graduate from LCC with a degree with skills and opportunities in communication or business, and you would have perspectives and ideas for living faithfully as a Christian in those jobs.
Hi, this is Robin Mubarak, and I'm studying theology in LCC International University. Why I chose to study theology? Because I love human rights. I want to be an advocate for human rights. I love helping people. I love serving them. And to get the motivation to love others, I believe Bible is the best book. And I was wanting to study it more and more in a deep sense. That's why I'm doing my theology. In future, I want to work in United Nations, and I want to advocate for the people who are vulnerable, who are struggling with violence, those who have no voice. That's why I'm doing theology, because I think with theology and my human rights education, I can change the world.
Hi, my name is Julia Gaiduk and I teach psychology here at LCC. So what can you do with a psychology major? First of all, in order to be a professional, independently working psychologist in Europe, you need a master's degree. This is why many of our students continue their education and go on to get master's or even PhD degrees. However, even with a BA degree, you can be an assistant psychologist, do research, or work in schools. You can also work in the area of HR and marketing, where you will use the knowledge to gain here.
Hello, I am Charlotta from Lithuania, and I'm a third-year student in the psychology major. And it's not only a field where you work only with counseling or only with mental illnesses. You can work as a health psychologist. You can work in education. You can work in counseling. You can even work in a business environment like I did. You can even become an HR or really reach out the world. Psychology is needed in every community, in every country, everywhere, because psychologists are needed not only for people who have problems, but they're needed for everyone. And I think it's a very universal field that's very beneficial to our community.
I hope that this video was truly informative for you and gives you some information what our majors at LCC International University will offer you if you choose to study here. I'd also like to remind you that you can leave your questions in slido.com, entering the code and asking your questions there. During our conversations, we'll try to answer most of the questions that you sent.
And as we're continuing our live stream, if you're still here, that's great. And later, you'll be able to share this video and watch it too, because we'll have a recording. But right now, we still have to present a lot of information about LCC, about the costs to study at LCC, about the scholarships, and about the admissions process. And later, we'll have a few students join us to answer some of your questions that you're leaving right here, right now at slido.com.
So let's shift our gears and get some information on what it takes to become a student at LCC International University. So we have our first guest, Rebecca, next to me, and she is admissions counselor at LCC International University. Welcome.
Thank you, Gevorg. As it was mentioned, my name is Rebecca Majitova. I am from Kyrgyzstan. It's a small country located in Central Asia. I studied at LCC, and since my graduation, I work as part of the admissions team for already 3 years. So admissions accept and work with your applications on a rolling basis. This means that once you submit your online application, an admissions counselor will be assigned to guide you through the process. Now, there are some important information and dates for you to remember. So for September intake, for BA application, the early deadline would be February 15, late application deadline is May 15, and as you can see, there are some spring intake deadlines as well for you to remember. Now, that does not mean that you have to wait for the last day of the deadline to apply. The earlier you fill out an application, the earlier you get the decision. And that means that you will get more financial aid opportunities available for you. Okay, so how do you fill out an application and how does the whole process look like? So it's very easy. You go to lcc.lt website, you fill in an online application, and you would have to attach some required documents. And those would be English proficiency test results, TOEFL, IELTS, Pearson, or Duolingo, and you can see the required scores on the screen. You would also require to submit your high school grades for the last 3 years, or your final high school diploma, its supplement, and examination results. Passport copy and a picture is very important as well. Once we receive your application and the documents, your admissions counselor will invite you to an interview with the admissions committee. And that's it. Once you complete all of the steps, you will just have to wait for the admissions decision. Now, depending from which country you are from, there might be some important requirements for you to complete as well. If you want more specific information about requirements for your country, please contact admissions office, and you can see all of the information on the screen as well, and we'll be able to help you.
I do remember when I was applying to study at LCC, I was rather nervous, but it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. And look at me, I'm a senior now.
Well, the same applies to me definitely. And well, Rebecca, most probably you will agree with me that when you are considering to study at university, one of the biggest questions and the concerns you have is the financial questions. So, could you tell us more, how much does it cost to study at LCC?
That's right, Gevorg. It is very important and it takes time, energy, talent, but also to invest finances into your studies. So let me tell you more about finances and tuition at LCC. For bachelor studies at LCC, tuition cost is 3,360 euros for one academic year. You can also see a prime tuition cost. And I will quickly tell you what does prime mean. It's a intensive English academic semester or 2 semesters, depending from your progress with your English language. And prime students get 50% discount automatically, and that will leave you with 1,680 euros as a tuition for one academic year. All international students do reside on campus as well, and the cost would be about 120 euros per month. The payment at LCC is done by semesters. That means September intake, which is fall semester, is paid separately, and spring would be separate as well. Now, for all of our students, we do offer financial aid. And there are different types of financial aid. More than 60% of our students do receive some sort of discount for your studies. About 40% financial aid is distributed on average per person at the university. There are 9 different scholarships and other grants available for first-year students, and other scholarships available for all consecutive years. And this means that at LCC, students have to apply for any types of financial aid and scholarships every year. So the discount that you get is only for one academic year. 7 out of 10 students do receive need-based aid as well. That is one of the financial aid that we offer. Okay, well, that was quite a lot of information for you to listen and to keep in mind. If you will have more questions, you can go right now to slido.com, enter the code that you will be able to find on the screen. But I hope this was helpful for you to at least get a general picture about finances, application process, and the tuition cost as well. So while you go to slido.com and enter all of your questions, I would like our new guests to introduce themselves.
Hello everybody, my name is Vera. I am Russian. I am a 4th year student at LCC International University, so it's actually my last semester. I'm graduating in a week. And yes.
And hi everyone, my name is Dima. I'm from Russia as well. I'm studying international relations and development here at university, and it's my 4th year, last year studying here as well.
All right. So why LCC? Dima, would you like to answer?
Yes. Well, I've answered this question many times already throughout all of the 4 years of studying here so far. And well, after I graduated from Russian high school, I moved to study in the United States for a year. And after my exchange year in the States, I did not want to go back to my country. I wanted to continue studying in English language mostly, and I wanted to continue exploring the world and new countries. So through Google search, through some people who were studying at LCC at that time, I found this university, applied, went through all the admission process that you already know about, thanks to Rebecca. And yeah, I got accepted and I moved here, and that's why LCC.
Wow, that was very interesting to hear. It's always amazing to hear the stories of students, how they hear about and come to LCC. Okay. Victoria, would you like to tell us what was your first impression of the university?
Well, my first impression of the university was quite different than for the others, I would suspect. The first time I really experienced the culture of LCC was when I was 17, way before my studies even started, as I got a summer job here in English summer day camps. And right from there, when I got to know people from LCC and build strong friendships that even today we have them, I knew that LCC is the option for me. So the first impression was a community, and I think that was a big reason why I chose LCC.
Right, yeah, thank you. That is quite a different experience compared to other international students, I suppose. Okay, Mira, how do you finance your studies at LCC?
That's a very good question. So the first year I enrolled at LCC, I've had like 80% of financial aid from university. And then later on I received, I believe, 60%. And then my third year I applied for a need-based scholarship and I received also for about 30%. But you know, what's really cool about LCC is that after your second year, you're able to go to the US, for example, and earn some finances to finance your studies like I did, and it helped me a lot. So I'm talking about programs like work and travel. And I believe for the first year students, after your first year at LCC, you could apply to go to Greece and also earn some money. So that's really great that LCC provides those opportunities for you to work in the summer and earn money to finance your studies. So, and then I believe I just went on working in my major, which is contemporary communication. So it was, I think, easier to find a job because like the LCC International University has a good diploma, I guess. And yeah, that kind of helped me.
Okay, thank you, Mira, for insightful information. Gevorg, how involved are you at LCC?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think from my reaction, you already answered that I'm really involved. Being a fourth year student at LCC, I'm also involved in leadership development program through student council. I'm leading the student council team at LCC International University. I have a wonderful team of 7 people with whom I spend mostly hours of working on daily basis, organizing a lot of events, student representation, and a lot of things. So when you are at LCC, definitely make sure to drop by the student council office and we'll tell you more about leadership opportunities in student council more there.
Right, okay. Well, I believe we do have some questions on slido.com from our audience, and we'll be able to look at them and give you guys some answers.
Yeah, we got few questions, and thank you for sending your questions. By the way, don't forget to send them. Go to slido.com, enter the code, and send us your questions. So we'll try to answer them on the go. We got few questions, and one of them is, are there any other facilities like gyms on campus? So the campus of LCC International University is consisted of many buildings. We have 2 dormitory buildings, Newman and Enns halls. We have the campus where we have our daily classes, and we have Michelson Centers where we have gym, and we also have a basketball hall. So most of the events, big events, tournaments, football games are happening at Michelson Centers. And in the gym you can take a subscription and attend the gym classes or by yourself train. We had another question. What kind of career you would like to pursue after LCC? Victoria.
That's a great question. Actually, talking about graduation, since it's 1 semester away only for me, through networking, I was blessed enough to get a job offer in marketing, and I'll be starting that soon. So with contemporary communication, marketing is a big part of that, and creative industries as well. So digital marketing has always been something I was very interested at, so I hope to continue my career in this field.
Thank you. Another question, I think I will address the question to Rebecca. A question addresses that, do you have Ukrainian students and do you offer scholarships? We have 57 countries represented.
Yes, we have 57 countries represented at LCC, and one of them is Ukraine. LCC is quite famous in that country, and we do get quite a lot of students from Ukraine. You will be able to apply for Ukrainian Scholar Award, but also there are other scholarships and other aids available as well. You will be able to apply for few at the same time. You would have to choose one at the end, unfortunately, but that just gives you more opportunities to try out different processes and see if you will be able to get a higher discount. But again, to remind you, you would need to apply early to be able to do that.
Thank you. So, no more questions. We'll wait for your questions, so don't forget to send them through and we'll try to answer it like this.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess the question I have for all of you guys, what would you say to those that are considering LCC for next academic year? Those, our audience that are watching us.
Yeah, I can start. For those who are watching us, yes, please apply to this university. Don't hesitate. Just apply. Click that button. Go through all of the process and apply. Because having lived here for 3.5 years so far, yeah, graduation soon. Having lived here for 3.5 years, first of all, it's a great chance to explore Europe. It's a great chance to explore Baltic states. It's beautiful country, Lithuania. It's beautiful city, Klaipėda. And the university, LCC International University, actually teaches you a lot of stuff, not only career-wise, but also life-wise. You are going through a lot of things here for the first time, mostly on your own sometimes, like for many of us, paying bills, finding jobs, all of this, you know, when you're entering adulthood fully. And I've grown a lot as a person, both professionally and mentally and in my leadership skills. So apply to LCC just because you will have unforgettable and very valuable experience that you will remember for a lifetime, for sure.
I also want to add something to this. I definitely agree with Dima. Apply to LCC, and for me personally, I've also grown very independently here because I believe, first year of LCC, I wasn't even realizing fully what I was doing, but then, you know, the time went on and I found my family, my best friends here, and they're from all the different countries that you can imagine and from all those different beautiful nationalities. And it's just like earlier in life, if somebody would tell me that like my best friends would be from all of those different countries, I would never imagine. And it's so cool because also LCC gives you opportunity for networking, for connection with professors, with students, that like you move on in life, but still those connections are there. So it does teach you to be independent, living in a different country, in a foreign country. But then, yeah, you do become more independent and you can literally own your life and find great job opportunities. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for great answers. We have some questions from Slido.com again. Let's hear them.
I think, Rebecca, how is LCC recognized worldwide?
I believe you're asking about the diploma. So since Lithuania is part of the European Union, you do get the European diploma, which is recognized worldwide. Doesn't matter if you want to go back to your home country, to North America, to Africa, Australia, it will be recognized.
Another question, I think directly to the admissions office. Why are there early and late deadlines for the applications for admissions?
We want to give our applicants opportunity to start their application process and to know the admissions decision early enough. So the process, it's first students need to get accepted to be able to start on their financial aid applications and other processes as well. So that's why we start off as early as possible, like January application is already open. We do get very late applications every year, but that would be already late, for example, for financial aid. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And how many students study at LCC?
I am not sure if I know the exact number, but this year it's close to 800 students studying at LCC.
Our community is growing on yearly basis. Every year we have more people joining us and experiencing LCC community. And why LCC? And that's one of the answers to the question. I think we've covered most of the questions on the slide though, so don't hesitate to send more questions like this. We'll try to answer and give you detailed answers and guide you through applications and answer to all of your questions that are still unanswered.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, it was great to hear all of your answers, and thank you guys for all of the questions that you have been sending through the website. I guess LCC students are the ones who has the first-hand experience and are able to share their knowledge of what it feels like to study at LCC. We also have some of our alumni who would like to tell more about their experience at the university. One moment.
It's not the question whether LCC should be considered or not. Of course it should be. It has so many opportunities to offer. And I would say by being in such a small country, in such a unique part of the world, it gives its own advantages across all the other maybe universities, if there is something that you compare. For those of you watching or having doubts whether you should go or you should try, always, of course, I would just like to encourage to not to snooze, not to be passive, but actually give it a try, give it a shot. It's a lovely place to be at, and I think you will be successful as long as you really want it and you give it a try and you give it the best that you have. Both LCC and Lithuania is a country with quite many opportunities to offer and opportunities to be grabbed, so just make sure you don't snooze on them.
LCC was the best thing that happened, truly. I know that I wouldn't be where I am now without LCC. I know that. It is a place of community. It is a place of inclusivity. It is a place of growth, safe growth, and critical thinking. So, I mean, I'm going to be one-sided. I'm like, if you're thinking about LCC, do it, right? Like, do it really, because it is a place that offers a different kind of education in Lithuania and in surrounding countries. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm just so subjective. I love LCC, and I have these very strong relationships. I've met people here that I met at LCC. Americans that were visiting and studying at LCC, and we'll still continue our relationships. And it is tremendously meaningful. It's meaningful.
LCC fundamentally shaped who I am, because I was, I think, a different person after high school graduation when I entered LCC. After 4 years when I left LCC. From graduation from my high school, I was extremely shy. I was not expressing my opinion. I was always more in the silent. But at LCC, the overall situation, the engagement that we had with professors, I remember so vividly baking lasagna with Phyllis and Dave Rhodes and with the other students around us, and it was something like coming from like the school that you and your teachers and like professors do something like this. It was completely unimaginable coming back from the high school. And I think this overall connection that you are like partners who discuss topics together, and I think LCC truly gave this ground to flourish, because we are almost like forced at the beginning. So what do you think about it? Like, why do you think this way? And this constant push for critical thinking, for argumentation, it just became part of who we are. And I know from my own, I didn't have it, or I didn't know I had it before coming to LCC.
LCC alumni are truly very inspiring. With that being said, as we're coming to an end of our live stream, we would like to encourage you to still write any questions that you might have on slido.com using the code that we are providing you down below. And right now, we would still like to answer some of the new questions we've received.
Thank you for sending your questions and going through the list. The first question again is, when is the start line of the application period for the admissions?
For September intake, application is open starting of January officially, and remind you the early deadline is February 15th. So right after the new year, you'll be able to go ahead and start your application.
Amazing. So keep in mind the deadlines, and you should definitely already start writing your applications. Another question addressed to maybe Victoria may answer. So what is the average age of the students at LCC?
Well, I would say that the average age is your 20s, even though many students start when they're 18, 17. Mainly students are in their 20s here to up to 23, but of course there's always some students that might have a leap year or something like that.
Yep. Thank you for the answer. And how does it take to get an admission decision after finishing all the application process?
Once you complete your final step, which is an interview with an admissions committee, it will take about 2 weeks to get your decision.
Okay, another question about the admissions. So the question is from, the question is UNE necessary for students from Kazakhstan, and how many points do you need?
Yes, that's very specific and very good question. So unified national examination results are very important, and they are required for students from Kazakhstan. You would need to get at least 50 points from each subject that you choose.
Thank you. Once again, Slido is open. Use the code on the screen that you see. Send your questions, and we'll try to answer them currently. So, we have a few more questions that we may cover. The question is really interesting. Is it difficult to study at LCC? I think it's really hard to answer to this question because it's not only about attending the classes, but it's also investing your own time and exploring the materials, learning more extra, doing some research, and not only the academics, but also learning some soft skills in the university outside of the core curriculum. So it's not hard, it requires some commitment and time from your daily life, but we are here to study and get education. Going through the questions once again. What questions might be asked during the admissions interview?
Well, it's very general questions for us to be able to get to know an applicant, see their faces, and it's not enough just to work with papers. It always helps to see their faces, hear their story, and yeah, just to kind of have an idea about an applicant and their reasons why LCC.
Great, thank you. Victoria, another question from our viewers. Can students who live off campus get involved in LCC life as those who live on campus?
Definitely. I started LCC living off campus because I am local here from Klaipėda, and I started working at LCC too when my studies began, and this helped me to get involved on campus a lot too. But then we also have events that are organized by different offices or departments. So for example, Student Life organizes events that are open to all visitors, meaning all LCC community visitors. So I would always participate in events, meet people from off campus too, and we always encourage those who live off campus to be active and participate in as many events as they can, because truly it is a doorway to that community feeling that otherwise people would get in dorms. But also if you're in dorms, don't just stay in your room, but explore, see the events we have, and make new connections.
That's true. Additionally, being at LCC International University doesn't necessarily mean that the whole experience is happening on campus. Sometimes we have many projects happening in different locations in Klaipėda, museums, halls, even scavenger hunts happening in Klaipėda with the staff and faculty and students involved. So it's just truly a big community that we have at LCC, and we try to make it accessible to everyone. People who are on campus and people who live off campus. Another question, can I legally work in Lithuania if I am from non-EU country? We know that EU citizens can work in Lithuania. Those who are non-EU residents in Lithuania, they get national visa when they arrive. They also receive afterwards through migration office at LCC and in Lithuania temporary residency permit with which you can stay in Lithuania, and you may be legally allowed to work part-time in Lithuania. And during the semester you can also be working on campus. We have many opportunities, major assistants, working in admissions office, even working in HR offices in different departments. And you can also go through work and travels, not only in Lithuania or Europe, but you can go to United States of America, or after your first year to Greece. Another question we received, how can I get involved in ministry, growing my faith at LCC?
Well, I think I can answer this question. My second year, I joined the chapel worship band, and that was a great opportunity to grow in the ministry of faith. Especially if you're interested in Christian faith, I would encourage to participate in events that are led and organized by the discipleship assistants. And this is another LDP leadership development program position that you might join your second year of studies, where you will be on a floor in the dorms organizing different Bible studies or talking with your residents. And of course, LCC as a Christian university has a community which is grounded in faith, so we also have Bible studies, chapel on Fridays, but it might change sometimes. So all of those opportunities are great for growing in faith and your ministry.
Thank you, Victoria. Another question we received, how good my English should be to study at LCC?
Very good question. We did mention earlier some of the scores that you would need to get from English proficiency test. Those would be TOEFL, IELTS, Pearson, or Duolingo. Now, to give you, if you are taking English courses, to give you approximate idea, intermediate, upper intermediate would be a great level to start off your studies. But if you are a little bit below that level, and if your score with one of the tests is lower than for BA, don't get discouraged, still fill out your application. We do have a program called PRIME, which is Prerequisite Intensive Module of English. That's basically academic intensive English semester or 2 semesters to help you to get ready for academic BA studies.
Thank you. And if you joined late to the live stream and you still have questions, please follow slido.com through the code, enter your questions and send it to us, because we are currently answering to all of your questions. Going back to the questions again, what does LCC stand for? Anyone?
Okay, I can answer that question. LCC stands for Lithuanian Christian College. So that's how we started as official name from the beginning, Lithuanian Christian College. However, now it's just LCC International University.
Thank you. If I am not religious, can I join LCC?
Absolutely. Yes, we are international community, and even though we are a Christian university, having all of these diverse students represented on campus, we do welcome everyone, no matter their religion and their background. So we do have students who are Muslim, non-religious, Christian, Buddhist, and the list goes on.
So you are most welcome to apply. Another question, do you plan to add more majors in LCC? That's a really interesting question, and I think that talks about the future of LCC.
Yes, that's a very good question. Again, I cannot tell you the final answer to that, and I'm not sure if we have an answer for that question. We do get asked that once in a while. I believe currently with those 6 majors, we are doing well so far, but we will see what future holds. We are growing, and there might be a need to open up another major, but we don't know yet.
If you have any suggestions of a major that you would open, just send your comments. We would appreciate that. Another question, can I play basketball at LCC? And this is something that everyone knows at LCC. Maybe Victoria can share.
Sure. Well, as a Lithuanian, I'm proud to say that Lithuania is kind of a basketball country. And with that being said, we have a basketball team here at LCC, which is called LCC Moose. And we, on occasions, have games happening here. And there's basketball players who are also students here at LCC. So you can mix playing basketball with studies at LCC, or if you're just studying and you like watching basketball games, feel free to join those whenever they're here.
Go Moose! Every week, usually when the season opens, we always, in the evenings when the games are, we all go with staff and faculty, students, just to cheer and support our team when they are playing basketball. And it's really entertaining. It's a part of the community that we are here. So don't forget, if you have questions, once again, send them to slido.com, enter the code that you see on the screen, and we'll try to answer them on the go. So for now, we have covered most of the questions. We'll wait if there are any more questions. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, it's always great to have so many people from all over the world join us in our live streams, and we're super excited to have you all here. And we hope to see your faces here someday at LCC if you decide to join LCC International University. And we hope that you enjoyed all the information that we shared with you today. If your questions didn't get answered, we still have short moments where you can submit your questions on slido.com, entering the code. However, if time runs out, as we're running pretty late, you can always email us or write us questions to our admissions office. And we'll be happy to respond to you and your questions there if you have any questions regarding studies at LCC.
Thank you, Victoria, and we have spent mostly an hour and a half together trying to provide you with all the necessary and important information on how to apply to LCC University, how the experience looks like here, what you can study, and what does the community feel like. So if you have any questions, not only the admissions office, but you can even contact our students, alumni, and they will be more than happy to share all the information that you need. We just got a few more questions and then we can cover them and then wrap up. So what are the minimum scores of Russian final exams if I need to get admitted to LCC?
I can answer that question. We don't have the minimum requirement for particular subject with YEGA exam in Russia, but you have to take that exam and you have to at least pass each subject that you chose for the exam. And yeah, I guess that answers the question.
Yep. Someone wrote, I hope to be admitted. So make sure to fill in your application and provide all the necessary documents, and then you will go through all the steps and hopefully we'll see you here next year. So to be cautious of your time, for some of you it's really late night, for some of you it's an early morning, and for some of you it's just during the daytime when you are working or studying. So we want to thank you for joining us today, and if you have more questions, please don't hesitate to send it to our admissions office or to the emails provided on the screen.
Yes, and as we're wrapping up our live stream, please do not hesitate to share this live stream with your friends who might have not been able to join us here today live, but would also like to rewatch this live stream. It will be available on our YouTube channel, and you can share the link with your friends. And also, admissions office is planning to organize more events for you, lectures or events to introduce you more to LCC and student life here. We often send that information through our newsletters. However, if you're not receiving any newsletters, please do not hesitate to let us know and we'll add you into our mail list. And with this being said, I guess it's time to say goodbye.
Blessings and
blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you.